Hi there, my name is David Colman. For many years, I've been working with small to medium businesses to help them to grow and thrive. So we've recently put together a series of webinars to help people to look at their businesses in a positive light coming out of the pandemic and the lockdown time, and how to get their businesses kick-started, how to have an analysis of where we've been, what we've got to do to get our businesses back up and running, and how we're going to plan to make them bigger, stronger, and better than before. So we've created a series of webinars, as I said, called React, Improve, and Prosper. And this is part 3 today, and we're going to head into part 3, which is around cash flow. So we're looking at that as we go. So I'll share my screen with you with the presentation. And here we go. So, as I said, COVID-19 has caused major disruptions to many small, medium, and large businesses across the country and really across the world. And business has changed to what we've been doing and will continue to change from how we do business only 3 months ago. Example, food venues in business-focused areas may not have the same walk by customers. You may have had to change up how you do your business rather than sit down. You might completely take away. You might have created a home delivery service within that particular business, and you had to change up what you've done and what you had to do. If you're looking at a service industry, your customers may be spread rather than being in a singular office, so you've had to work out different ways how to service those particular customers and satisfy their needs, and looking towards technology, I'm sure, in a big way to help you to do that. So what are we going to do to manage the changes that have occurred? There's 3 parts that we feel, there's 3 parts to the recovery, where we have React. React is what's happened now. We quickly had a lockdown. We quickly this pandemic, the virus came very quickly. And so we needed to react very, very quickly. Some of us did that well. Some of us are still trying to get our head around that. Our staff may be working remotely. We may have had to downsize very quickly. Some of us, unfortunately, have had to shut completely, and their businesses still may not be open, or maybe very, very slow in coming back. So we've had to react very quickly to what we're going to do. We're then looking at now how to improve our businesses, how to kickstart our business, how to get it going, and we're going to look at some steps to get it going immediately, what you've got to do to get some revenue flowing now. And then we're going to have a look at a chance to analyse and take action and plan as to what we're going to do into the future and how that will enhance your business and grow into the future. So that's what we're going to look at across the presentation for this morning. As I said, the 3 things we've got to react, where we've pivoted to the disruption, improve, take action to restart, and plan and implement to win new opportunities is our section around Prosper. Because we've had to scramble so quickly in the react mode, we probably haven't had a lot of time and chance to plan, so we're going to have a look at that as we go, and look at areas of opportunity where we can build and grow. And the one thing about disruption is that opportunities are there for those businesses willing to take those chances. How well have you recovered, are recovering? How well have your customers recovered? And how well have your competition recovered? So we'll have a look at all those things today. So small business is the essential, is the essence of the Australian economy. The small to medium business is a huge portion of the cash flow through the economy itself. And so this is why we're running these small webinars, to help you in your business, to give you some ideas about what to look at, how to look at it, and what to kickstart and keep going, and to plan at the end for the next 3, 6, 12 months with a various number of different outcomes. Businesses need to react and improve to set up for prosperity. We need to really take control of our businesses and make sure that we are working them correctly and will be suitable and be able to survive through the current times as we come up. So now's the time for your small businesses to react but improve. and also set up for success into the future. And this is going to require extraordinary flexibility, determination, and persistence from you as a small to medium business person to make this occur. For a lot of you with established businesses, this is a restart. These are things that you've got a steady business, and a portion of that business may have been affected, may not be there anymore. You might have to look at doing things differently. You're going to have to dig back into those feelings and that really that persistence that really started you on your business journey, and reset and re-go. The reason you start small business and you start medium business is that you have determination. You are able to do this. You have the ability and the determination to actually get out there and create your own business. So you're going to have to reach back into those strengths and work out over the next few years how you're going to create a great business over the next few years. So in the improve phase where we are, we're looking at 6 parts of our business. We're looking at the client customer section, where we're going to analyze, recommence, and enhance each of these topics. So we've spent some time where we work out what's changed and how we can take advantage of each of these changes in these areas. So each of our webinars will concentrate on, as I said, one of those particular topics: the client customer, cash flow, suppliers and partners, your staff, technology, and where you are, your business space, what happens with that and how does that look. Today, really importantly, we're going to concentrate on the cash flow side. So where we're going to look at where is our money, how's it looking at the moment, how are we going to invest wisely into the future, who do we need to talk to help. So it's a very important part. It's one of the parts that young entrepreneurs tend to miss. They're enthusiastic about their businesses and great ideas and want to get things going and love what they do with the customer, love what they do with the client. But it's the financial side that we really have to look at to make sure that we're able to continue. So it's sort of tone down your entrepreneurship and really put on our financial hats this morning. Okay, so know your numbers, plan your prosperity. Where is your business today? So initially we'll be looking at your current financial situation. Analyze what you've done since lockdown. How have you managed, if you have managed, to keep revenue flowing, and where your business stands financially. We're going to get you to look through what financial packages are available for you to survive and to kickstart your businesses as we move through lockdown. And I'm sure we've taken advantage of some of those. We're going to reiterate some of those that are out there and available. And finally, we're going to look at how you manage your funds and support the growth of your business as we and to enhance your business as we grow into the future, and plan over the next 3, 6 to 12 months just to kickstart. It's a really turbulent time ahead of us. We're not through what we need to be yet, so we need to plan and be ready financially, as well as the other areas that we'll look at as well. So what I want you to do is just take a moment and we stop at this point and say, this is where you need to take down some notes. This is where you need to create a document, whether it be a written pen and paper document, on a screen, whatever it suits you and the way you work, to create a document to write down the analysis of your business so that you can plan for your future success. So we're going to challenge you with some thoughts and write these down, so when you're talking to your advisors, you're talking to the people who support you in your business, you've got these notes across each of the topics that we're doing. This could be transferred a little bit later into an Excel spreadsheet. You get the numbers out of Xero or QuickBooks or MyOb or one of the numerous amount of accounting packages out there. So have a look and think about how you can work and the best way to document this particular subject. So do you understand your financial situation? Can you accurately work out where you stand today? So, do you have a Xero, a MyOb, a QuickBooks, whatever it may be? If not, can you read and do you understand your cash flow report? And can you read and do you understand your profit and loss reports? So it's really important you understand the story, the financial story of your business, being able to read through your cash flow report and read through your P&L, your profit and loss, to find out where your business is sitting. For those of you who qualified for JobKeeper, you would have had somebody look at this already, I'm sure, because you would have to prove you're 30% down on business or more. So you understand that's where you sit. So how do you look and go, right, this is where I am, take away the JobKeeper, have a look at it before JobKeeper and after JobKeeper to find out what situation your business may be in. Have a look at the other areas that you may have been able to take advantage of, BAS relief, or whether you've taken advantage of some other avenues, super, taken a loan, it's one of the small loans that were available, whatever it might be. Have a look at where you are, especially through your P&L. You're going to have a look at what you may have deferred in payments and to see really where you are. Bring those back in to look at what the future is going to look like. So very, very important you sit down and understand what that is. And that might be working with your accountant on the same sheet so you're really clear. What was your revenue stream? What were your outgoings? What was your profit, gross and net? And now what is it today? What does it look like in the last quarter? Really important we have a look at this and understand. What levels of cash or equity do you have available in your business? So, what cash is in your business accounts? How much line of credit or overdraft facilities do you have? How much are you currently using? What is available left? Because we need that to have a look at when we're looking at how to kickstart our business, where our investment needs to go. And also when we're looking at growing and enhancing our business, how much we're going to have to use that to invest to kickstart our business and to make sure that our business becomes stronger and grows and thrives in the future. Have a look at if there's any business equity in your business. So, does your business have, has it been making a profit? Have you built wealth within that business? And can you draw down on some of that wealth to drive back into your business to keep it going and get it going today? Where do your business cards sit? It's really easy just to go out there, pay your bills, spend, whatever it might be over this period of time. You really have to take stock, analysis, draw down those statements and have a really good look at where we are today. So you know exactly where you are when you're sitting there. Look at your creditors and debitors. How much do you owe? How much is owed to you at this point in time? Where does that balance go? Where does that cash flow look like? And if you do not understand these numbers, then my recommendation is that you gain personal assistance from an advisor, an accountant who can help you here, a consultant who can help you plan with these numbers. So over these slides today, I'm not asking you just to do this on your own. Go to your help, go to your core people who've been looking after you and get them to help. The accountants have been really busy. It's really important with the numbers that they understand and you understand where you are. And then maybe you have a set of advisors, consultants who can look into your business and assist with you to take stock, understand what you've got to do to re-kick your business, which we'll get into as well, and then understand what you've got to do to plan into the future. So really important that you've got these particular points available to you and know what's going on. Finally, what is your financial plan for the next 3 to 12 months as you come out of lockdown? What is your expected revenue balanced with your customer analysis from part 2? This is part 3 of our webinar. In part 2, we looked at the customer, how the customer is changed, how their buying patterns have changed. If your business relies on walk-by trade, people are not walking by. They're not going to work. If you're in the city or you're on a commuting section, people are not commuting at the moment, slowly coming back. But even in the city at the moment, we're down. It's probably only 20 to 25% of the workers have come back. There's entire buildings that are still not open. So once again, at section 2 of part 2, we looked at the changes in your customer and the analysis of that. So what is your now expected revenue, immediate expected revenue from the actual change in that customer and how they've gone from your customer analysis. What are your current expenses, fixed and variable? They may be down at the moment. The fixed revenues with salaries. You may have people down on hours, or maybe have stood down, or whatever it may be. So your fixed may have dropped a little bit. Your variable may have dropped a lot because you're not actually going out, you're not spending maybe your salespeople out to actually visit customers. So their travel, their costs, their on-road may not be in your business at the moment. So you've got an opportunity to secure some of the cash into your business so that you can grab it and reinvest it wisely into the future. Don't just kickstart what you did before, because what you did before may not balance into what the market allows you to do at the moment. Where your revenue streams are now, and your customer flows and their habits, they may have changed. Your client habits may have changed. Are your clients even there? And so we'll look at how that works and will affect your cash through your fixed and variable expenses. What does your contracted revenue look like? Do you have set contracted revenue? And what's happened to their business through the COVID lockdown? Looking at your variable revenue and what happens there as well. But your fixed revenue might be fantastic, but if those businesses are not open, is that fixed revenue actually secure for the next 3 to 6 months? There may be debtors now and may not ever pay you. So we need to reach out, find out what's happening in their businesses, find out what's happening in their cash flows. And this is a theme. We need to go out to our suppliers, go out to our partners, go out to the people who we work with on a daily basis who are important to our business, to make sure they're secure, and find out just how secure they are, and listen in your conversations as to where do you think they are financially, and what is the likelihood of them coming out. You may need to renegotiate those long-term contractual revenue streams, as we will talk about in the future when we're talking about our supply partners. But you may need to have a real good look at those. And your variable revenue, so that's the revenue that comes and flows and you're unsure where it is. What does that look like from a customer analysis? When we're looking at that, what does that look like for your revenue? And you really need to drive down. To assume that it will be back to where you were before is a little naive. You need to actually have a really good solid look, start to pick up the phone, communicate, talk to your suppliers, talk to other people out there, even your competitors, to find out whether they're seeing the same thing that you are seeing. As I said, every business has their fixed expenses, rent, regular salaries, electricity, basic stock. Variable expenses may be travel events, extra stock, extra staff, extra work that comes out of your minimum running costs. You want to look at a future cash flow analysis. So including the government stimulus, future cash flow analysis. What are you going to do after that government stimulus ceases? Is this a negative? And how long can your business sustain a monthly running loss? So when the stimulus goes away, are you actually running profitably? So you need to do your analysis with the current stimulus in to see where you are now, but you need to do your analysis with the future stimulus out, or the current stimulus out, to actually see what your future revenue looks like on today's figures. Because that way you can plan to see what you need to do to be profitable. If you cannot make profit on today's figures, then how long can you sustain a monthly loss until you can turn that around in your business? And as I said, reach out into so your supply chain or your partners, reach out into that particular area, health check their businesses and their viability to make sure you are connected with the right people to secure your business moving forward. Okay, plan your prosperity. So in Recommence, this is where we start looking at when you're coming back from lockdown, really getting stuck into how we're going to work. So we're looking at here, I would suggest that now you have a financial plan. What's the reality in reopening your business and regrowing your business right now? I recommend you keep your expenses limited until you understand your revenue prospects. So open with caution. Stay within your current financial revenue means. Stay within those means. Consider your customer and client and their movements. How fast back to pre-lockdown dollars do you think you can come? Really, really important that you don't just go out there, open up every door in your business, recommence everybody, to find that your revenue streams are not where they were, and you're currently holding a huge cost each month that you are not covering. Guys, obtain financial advice. Accountants, financial advisors, experts to help you trim costs in your business, keep fixed and variable costs in check now and into the future. It's a great chance to really have a good look at your business, to really understand, hey, this could be the chance for me to move those things around, to renegotiate that supply chain, to make sure that those people who have taken me for granted now understand how valuable I am, or have a chat to their competitors just to see how valuable you are to them, and make sure it's a really good chance for you to really have a look at this. In looking into the future, it can be difficult. Our governments are talking about recessions, and the whole world is teetering on the edge of that area, recessions and further. So we really want to make sure that you are as skinny as possible in your outgoings, to make sure that your revenue streams start to cover all of your costs and to get back into some net profits. I said, negotiate terms on contracts with suppliers or landlords. Take advice around that from the people who are expert in that field. You could sell quick turnover or expendable assets. We're going to look at consider stopping and deferring payments for a short term. How does that affect you? And we're going to run through the government revenue packages. So that's what we've got coming up. Guys, I'm going to say it a lot in the next couple of minutes. Get proper advice. Make sure that happens in your business. As I said, write things down. Create this document now for how you're going to recommence your business. What have you got to do? You've actually understood where you're at. Now, what have you got to do financially to create your business? And over the next few slides, we're going to run those particular numbers on how to recommence. So as I said at the beginning, open with caution, stay within your financial means, and obtain advice. So now that you've got a financial plan, I said, what is the reality in reopening or growing your business? Keep expenses limited until you understand your revenue prospects. Really important. Slowly look at regrowing. Consider caution over boldness. Now, I know we're entrepreneurial. I know we've got a small business or a medium business. Some of you may have been used to great incomes, but take it easy. Open with caution. Just make sure your customer is there. The more chance we have coming out of lockdown, the more people who go back. But then again, your customer may not have their spending dollar available because they may, their particular jobs, their small businesses, their income stream may have been affected. They may be on JobKeeper. They may be not having a work, and they may be on Job Seeker. They might be not working. They might have been stood down. They may be on shorter hours. So the expected revenue from everybody may be reduced. So caution is a really good way to start to reopen. Said, obtain the financial advice through accountants, financial advisors, experts to help you trim your costs and negotiate terms of contracts. Chase your debtors whilst keeping your own on terms and within your cash flow borders. It's really important that you've got to keep the cash flow moving and keep it happening. So do that very, very quickly. And if you need to create cash opportunities, sell any quick turnover expendable assets quickly. So or easily move product. So you've got product that's easy to move, get it on sale, get it out the door, create a revenue. Even if you have to sell it out, reopening sale, create activity around your business. So you get a marketing campaign around that to get rid of the stock that's there, because you need to move the stock, otherwise it might go stale. Or even if it doesn't have a timeline, your stock or your service doesn't have a timeline, now's the opportunity to re-engage with the people who are also looking at you as a supply chain option, and whether you're the best option, or your customers looking at you as to whether you're the best person to buy product from, or to take that service from. So now is the time to create opportunity for your supply chain, for your customer and your client to re-engage with you by creating opportunity and creating some cash. So really, really good idea. Get things going, create opportunity now, maybe some sales, whatever it may be. So what items can you action now? Initiate plan part 2 to increase revenue as possibly. So you kick off the resecure the customer plan from part 2. So this is part 3, as I said, of our webinar series. So part 2, where we ran through how to resecure your customer, kick that plan off immediately. Let your customer know that you're back, that you're available, what you can do, what's available. You might be limited in the products or the service that you can actually supply to them. So make sure you engage them in what you can do. As I said a minute ago, maybe offer some kickstart renewal sales items that can really enhance the relationship and get them used to reordering the supplies from you in case they're checking you out, and you should be checking out your own supply chain and partners. Are there any deferred payments or any payments that can be deferred, reduced, or stopped completely for a period of time? And I know we've looked at some of this, but now it's still appropriate. Now that you're back with some revenue, you might say, just a couple of months, it allows me at a lower revenue to keep things running. So have a look at what those payments are, engage your financial institutions, see where they can help you. Have a look then to your accountant as to how that impacts on your P&L and on your cash flow, and whether it's wise, will you have the cash later to be able to pay this back. Remember, these payments are deferred, so they may not, well, they will need to be paid back. I'm hearing out there some people are not renewing leases and they're going to a virtual world. Fantastic. So, we look on section 6, we'll be looking at how your personal space is being impacted, your business space is being impacted. But if that's not an option for you, if you need your space for customer or you need your space for business, then you need to have a look at how that's been affected, and maybe you can negotiate some terms around how that works for you so that it looks better on your cash flow. But once again, be cautious about delaying opportunity or delaying payments, as they're going to have to be paid at some stage. So you have to build your cash flow to do that. Get proper advice. Don't just take it from me. Make sure that the experts in your field, your consultants, your financial advisors, your accountants, who you trust, are looking at your P&L with you and giving you the correct advice. So let's have a look at some of the government packages that are available. We're looking at, there's the JobKeeper allowance, which I'm sure you're all aware of. But that is allowing small business or medium business or all business to actually continue to supply and pay their staff, even though they may not have the income. The main qualification is that you need to be down on 30% on business month on month from last year. Once again, your financial people will be able to help you with that. If you're not on it because you haven't qualified, have a relook and see how you're going, if things are changing. But as you come back out, it allows you to bring those terrific staff members back. You've got your PAYG withholding cash boost. So that's allowed you to, obtain some money to inject into your business through this period of time. So use these funds really wisely. People are just grabbing this money and off they're going elsewhere. You need this to rebuild into your business. There's the ATO BAS relief, which has been a fantastic, especially for small businesses. That the BAS is one of their larger outgoings, one of their more larger variables. And so to obtain and recoup that has been fantastic to allow them to re-inject that into their businesses, which is awesome. What else do we have here? We've had the instant asset write-off, which is coming up towards the end of the financial year. So take advantage of that. If you're looking at buying and investing into your business, take advantage of the instant asset write-off. Can happen immediately. There's been small business loans available at low or zero interest rates with very little scrutiny around that. So once again, have a look at that. Be cautious. It's a loan. You've got to pay it back. So you've got to make sure you invest in that to recoup revenue. Look at your cash flow. Look at your customer. Look at your supply chain. Look at your current areas of where you work and how that looks, and make sure that this is all going to get in an investment, and look at your return on investment or your ROI. So having a look at that, what else have we got? There's the small, medium enterprise commercial leasing code of contact for you to have a look at to see whether that can help you with your current retail or commercial or industrial premises. So go through and have a look at that. There's government grants available for small business on the ATO website, the Australian Tax Office website. There's a link there that takes you to all the support that's available for all of business out there. So if you haven't been on that site and spent a good time driving through there and trying to understand what's going on, I recommend you do. Find out what's good in there, then go back to your financial advisors and talk to them about it. Gain some knowledge, just don't trust what everyone's telling you. There's so many different options available for businesses to assist to grow. This is your chance to kick back in, take advantage of these to be open now. Okay, the final section we're looking at here is how we're going to enhance our business into the future and plan that next 3, 6, 12 months. We're going to how we're going to manage our cash flow growth. We're going to lock in future financial support with the banks and the finance. I'm going to tick your box there. What are we going to do there? We're going to forecast our fixed and variable costs. We're going to forecast that, have a section on that, and then forecast our long-term beneficial changes. We're going to have a look at all these to finish off our webinar this morning and look at what we can do to enhance and grow. So then we would have had a look at where our cash flow is now, what we've got to do to use that cash flow to kick it open our businesses, to create some revenue right now in a very cautious way. And now we're going to look at how we can enhance and grow our business, how that should be done, who we're going to do that with, and what is the end result? What does that financial plan look like? And as I say, this is where you need to write this down so you can reach back into your financial suppliers and your financial help to make sure they're on board with you, to make sure that you are getting the best advice and allowing your financial people to understand your business exactly. We tend to leave them a little bit in the dark, sometimes with our numbers, and so we really need them to understand, especially our planning, what we think it might be. Looking at past P&Ls may not be the way to go, so we have to understand what the future may look like. Our revenue change may have changed. So managing the cash flow growth for long term. So prepare for the worst case scenario on your customer analysis part 2. So in part 2, we asked, how will your revenue model change based on the relationship with your customer or your client? So now we've got to look at how this will work on our financial questions. We need to look at our pricing, look at our supply costs, and budget for deferred payments. So we need to plan to grow, but not to overspend. We need to look at our pricing on what we're offering our customer. Now, this may need to change. You might be okay to come back right now and charge what you were charging before. However, if your customer is not earning the same money they were before, they may not be able to A, afford your current product or service, or B, afford it as often. So if you are a food organisation, you might be $10 or $12 a plate, and your customer used to be able to come and buy food from you 3 times a week. Well, now it might be once. And so are you 2/3 down on that particular plate turnover at that cost? If that was at a reduced cost and a smaller margin to keep you going for now, would that customer be able to come 2 times to 3 times until they come back and their business puts it back onto full-time income? Just have to talk to your customer to find out what's going on, which is what we spoke about in part 2. Look at your supplier costs, guys. If you have to think about what you've got to charge your customer, then your suppliers may need to be looking at the same thing, and you need to be asking them about this. Look at your cash flow. They need you as much as you need them. They need you to buy their product, or they need you to supply them so you can go along and sell whatever they, or introduce their product into your business to sell to the final customer. So maybe we all need to renegotiate what that looks like in the next 3 to 12 months. I'm not going to say this doesn't come back into the future, but there's no point just reopening. The expectation is we are where we are. And then budget for any deferred payments. So a lot of people have run out and deferred their mortgages, deferred their loans, deferred their rents, had a great conversation with their commercial landlord to actually cut their rents down or lock it down. But these rents are not white. These deferment payments are not white, they are deferred. So if you've been running a very close profit and loss situation through good times, what's going to happen when these come back? At the same time, the government stimulus packages will be taken away. So you've got to actually plan for this and make sure that you can afford to come back and get your cash flow raising up so you can actually be aware of what's going to come in the next 3, 6, and 12 months. And then 3 different timelines. 3 months is when the change in the government stimulus package happens from here. 6 months and 12 months, how are you looking? It's a fine balance in a constricted economy. It's time to negotiate and make sure that you are getting a fair go from everybody, that you can actually manage that cash flow for you. So you're going to also let's look at taking some notes around locking in future financial support from your banks and your finance. Now's the time to re-establish relationships. If you haven't been to see your financial banks, go. If you wouldn't have been able to go and see them much, talk to them. If you can go and build that relationship, catch a quick meeting, whatever it might be, to re-establish that relationship, to let them know that you're back. Give them an idea that you're going to be successful, and now you need their support, and you'll be able to manage their support, their financial support. I mean, support is on everyone's mind. Everyone's been told to get out there and support one another. The big organisations where we get our money from, they know they need to support us, but they want to be sure they're supporting the right people, backing the right horse. So you've got to let them know that's you. Take your P&Ls, take your plans, your 369s, and go and meet with those financial institutions to reassure them that you're the best person to be partnering with. So you'll need to be well planned, or a growing business. That's who they want to be with. So you need to show them how you're well planned and you're going to be regrowing your business. Take advantage of their expertise and meet regularly. Large financial organisations train their staff really well. Take advantage of this. They want you to be successful. So really don't hide from them, embrace them. They can cheer your success. However, they can also support the deficiencies. They can help you get through a period of time where you may need some extra cash, you may need some extra revenue, you may need to actually be able to push and to actually able to increase your revenue stream, or you might need to push out your overdrafts, whatever it might be, and they can help you through that period of time. Also, rework your debts and reassess your loans and your overdraft facilities. They may need to be extended for a period of time. So how's that going to work? What liabilities will that create to the business? What liens will that be on your business and other businesses? So it's time to really analyse where you are, what you need to re-establish this cash flow that is so important to all businesses. And here we go. Forecasting fixed and variable costs and forecasting the long-term beneficial changes. And forecasts are a nightmare, but we've got to do them. Our fixed and variable costs, as I mentioned at the top, our fixed and variable costs may have changed. If you've got people on reduced wages, then your fixed cost has come down. You may have been able to organise a new negotiation around your lease. And once again, if you are talking to your suppliers, you can look at reducing some of those fixed costs that come through that you need for your product. And your variable costs are the same. Really, when no one's been travelling and out and about and doing stuff, variable costs have dropped, and most people have realised that they actually haven't been spending much, and they've had more net to actually spend. It's been quite interesting for those that do have money. They seem to have a reasonable amount of it. So what is happening with your variable cost? But being realistic, to kickstart your business again, you'll need to actually start to re-spend some of those variable costs. So you need to look at that create winning opportunities with your partners, with your suppliers, with your customer. Each of the companies you deal with have been affected through lockdown as well. So where are they? What are they doing? How can you help them come back? How can they help them come back? Of course, the long-term beneficial changes. Do you have the best products? The products that you want, the products you need to sell. Now might be the time to change up your business focus. Are you in the right service? Are you offering the right service? Do you have the right quality for service? The people in your business, are they the right people? Are they being paid the right amount of money? Do you have the right people to help you secure? Is now the time to change your business? Fantastic opportunity. When there's flux and when there is disruption, take advantage of it. Do you have the right materials, the right material suppliers? All of these questions that you can look at. Are you in the right location? Do you actually, as I said, with some offices, do you actually need this location anymore? Have you learned to work and supply a different way? So get in place to create a best return on each of these investments that you've got, your product, your service, your material, your people, location. They're all investments. So let's look at the greatest return that you can actually get out of those. Let's sit down and plan, work with your advisors, get advice, reach out and talk to someone who can help you. Reach out to me if you need to get some advice on where to get that advice, and we'll certainly give you a hand to make sure that your business comes back and stays successful. As I said, in the near future, you cannot ignore these avenues regardless of your business, regardless of the size of your business, the industry your business is in, and how that business looks. What are the industry relevant, let's go again, what are the industry relevant options that will be maintained or expanded upon? So you're going to have a look at your business and how the whole industry that you're in looks and how it's going to expand in the future. And what can you take and learn from the time in lockdown that you can take from it and enhance your business to move forward. And that might be in reducing some of the things that you do, or pivoting or changing the focus of your business or your product. So a really interesting time to change, and now might be the absolute perfect time to pivot and create a different style of business or service for your customer. So there we have it, React, Improve and Prosper, Part 3. We've looked at where we are currently with our finance, what we've got to do and how we've got to spend cautiously to kickstart, and then what we've got to do to plan, and do we have the right partners, the right suppliers, the right people, get advice, speak to your financial chain, speak to your financial institutions, get everybody on board. It's time to open communication that you've never, as much as you have in the past, it's now really important to make sure everybody's on the same page, to make sure everybody is up, working and able. How a business handles its return and improvement will define its reputation, its performance and potential to prosper into the future. Your customers, your staff and your suppliers and competitors will be watching what you do. So it's a really important time that you perform strongly. We see 3 phases that small and medium business owners must face to recover from the current crisis. We've created a blueprint here for you to return to success from greater revenue and profitability. As I said, so we've got 6 parts of your business to analyze, where we can reflect, restart and revitalize each one. So as I said, this is part 3. We've looked at the customer. We had an introduction. We've looked at the customer. We've looked at the cash flow. We've got a lot more to come. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope that this has been helpful, this webinar. Thank you for joining me in, and I hope that you join us in the rest of our series as we go along. Reach out if you need to have a further conversation on anything we're discussing or you're unsure of. I'd love to absolutely help you and have a chat, and wish you all the best in restarting and kickstarting your businesses. Take care.